Ran our own website through the AI visibility tool that we built. We scored a D. The strange part, the tool that we built the site with says the site was totally fine. The SEO is good. Nothing critical. Let me show you the gap between those two things, because if you have a modern website, you probably have it too. Just a quick intro before we dig in. This is Cavendo Studios, and I'm Jonathan Earhart. We build and run real software products, and on this channel, we do our SEO and AI visibility work out in the open, with real numbers, including the ugly ones. Over the next few episodes, we're going to drag our own site from invisible to actually getting recommended by AI, and show you exactly how, so you can do the same with your website. If that sounds useful, subscribe and stick around. We built a tool that checks whether AI engines can actually see and read and cite your website. We ran ours first because, well, it's honest, and I expected a few dings, but not a D. So the website builder that we use to build our website says everything's fine. The homepage is reachable, the crawler looks good, the site's indexable, a couple of little things about descriptiveness and maybe content accessibility, but to a layperson, I don't really know what that means, but it says everything is good. And if you go to Google on Search Console, it's like, oh, wow, okay, so my pages are getting indexed, so things are looking good. But here's the problem. When you look at what the website actually looks like, where's the whole page? Where is it? Where is everything? This is all that it shows for the content for the web page. Sure, you see the page title and some of the other information, but the website shows up as blank. So it's no wonder AI can't read the site and why we scored a D. As you can see, we've got a lot of work to do. Apparently, the AI crawlers can access our website, but there's just nothing there. So they can't see any of the content, even though if you go to the website, there's clearly a whole bunch of stuff here. They can't see it. There's no data, there's no LLMs text, there's no really much of anything to see there. And it says that it's thin indexable content, which just means that, well, there's really not a lot there. Just because something can be read by Google doesn't necessarily mean that the rest of the internet and AI crawlers and AI search engines can actually read and see your website. So here's the deal. And to be fair, our website is on a site builder that creates this website using React, which there's a lot of tools out there that do that. There's a lot of React websites. And the issue is that it basically runs as JavaScript. So when I pull it up my web browser, the JavaScript goes and actually renders the web page, and then you can see the content and you can see everything as if, because you're a real person, you're looking at the website. But as we just saw, as a bot, as a crawler, if I'm on AI and I'm asking questions, and they're doing web searches and they're going to find your website directly, they're not going to be able to see anything, and that's the problem. Like, we scored a D, and that's not good. So how are we going to fix that? And that's what we're going to dig in on our next episode, and we're going to try to get this website to be cited, get us to show up in AI. Google says that we're there. Says that they've indexed our pages, but why are we doing so poorly in the eyes of AI? So we're going to run some live questions against the four big AI platforms. We'll start with ChatGPT, and we'll just simply ask. It's like, well, what can you tell me about our business? And so it's going to go out and it's going to do a search. And typically, like, ChatGPT uses Bing typically for their search. It's able to pull up, so you're able to see that it does pull up all this information. But if you look at the sources, it's actually not the company website for this company directly. It's actually for our kind of our parent company that just happens to have enough information on its website, so ChatGPT can say, okay, here's what we know about this company. You can see every single citation is our main company. It's not the AI company that we've been doing the searches for. What I'm thinking is we're going to have a similar experience with Claude, and so let's see what that looks like. So it goes out, does its searching. For most AI search, or if you're running a query, They're going to go out and they're going to search the web. They're going to look through their own models. They're going to look through their context, everything they can find, and they're going to start to extrapolate everything based on that. What you're not seeing here is they're not going and pulling up the actual website that has all of the actual like correct up-to-date information about what I'm asking. So it's inferring this from all of these other sources and just kind of putting the pieces together. So again, I think we're going to say the same thing with Gemini. Same thing here. It's talking about some of our other background, but again, every single citation here is from our main website. It's not actually from the target.ai website that we ran our search against, the site that scored D. So finally, we'll round it out with Perplexity here. Perplexity is just straight up. It's like, I don't have enough current information. What they're telling us is, well, we don't have access. We can't scan the website that really is like the true, source of truth for what you're asking about. This is really where when we say AI can't see you, you're invisible. Why did we score so poorly? 43, which is a D. You got all these failures and all these issues. Well, really, this is why. If we go through and we look at what that means, it looks like we've got all the technicals, right? You got robots.txt. You've got all these other bots can crawl our page. Claude can access our web page. Perplexity can access it. So technically, there's no issues here. So it seems. We've got some other for Google search and AI. The Google AI overview. We'll dig into that in another episode. But so there's some work we can do there. LLMs.txt. There's two schools of thought on that. It's just like a robots file, but it's just for AI engines. Some people say that the AI models just disregard them. Some people say, oh, you definitely need that. My opinion is, can't hurt to add it. You have an opportunity there to give the bots and the crawlers, more exactly what you want them to know. So without them having to go through and index all the pages and kind of infer everything, you can just give them the information directly. So why not take advantage of that opportunity? So you can do that. You can also do an expanded version of this. So absolutely should totally do that. Take advantage of that. And then we're getting dinged on just content, parsability and structure, and these are all the things that the technical models and the crawlers are really relying on. They're not looking at it as a human. They're looking at it as, okay, well, we're just trying to read through the tags, just like how Google does it. They go through and they look for your first heading tag. They start reading everything and they pull out the description. Especially if you haven't provided it. So there's a lot of room for improvement here. We give you some, there's some recommendations on what to do there. We show you what is working. So again, there's no reason why our website shouldn't show up. The crawlers can access it. The bots can access it. We have a meta description. We have page titles. Everything on the surface looks good. Our number one high priority issue here is content is visible without JavaScript. It's not accessible near empty HTML. The LLM crawlers, they see no words. So they're like, well, this website has no information. It's as if we didn't even have a website. Just a lot of other, if we start making all these changes, then our score will come up. We'll be able to show up and be accessible. And then we also generate, a sample LLM's text and, some more of that structured data that we saw before. So you can copy this and make your changes, load this on your website. Now, if you're using something like WordPress or some of these other site builders that are a little more structured, you're not going to have necessarily these issues. This really applies to React websites, sites that are built with a lot of the newer like AI site builders, and they're great platforms. It's amazing what you can do. You can build a website, you can set up a prototype like in minutes, which is insane. But, and I know that they are addressing this. There's some of the newer updates. They're using different frameworks, or that way it'll actually render your website. So what we're going to dig into in the next episode is actually how we fix this on our own website and how you can do that as well. We'll walk you through it. If you have a React website or a generated, like a JavaScript generated type of website, we'll walk you through exactly how you can go up and do that. That's why we have a D and why we didn't do so well. So drop your website in the comments. I'll respond. We'll do a full site score for your website. I'll also give you the link in the comments, in the notes. You can go and put in your address. We'll do the scan. We'll give you the quick summary, put in your email, and we'll send you the full report with all the details, the sample files, and the changes to make. So if you want to know where your own site stands, drop your URL in the comments, and I'll send you your AI score for free. I'll also send you the full report. And if you want to watch us drag our D-rated website, bring it up to scale, and get us showing up in AI, subscribe. The next episode, we're going to dig in. We're going to make the site readable. We're going to make it accessible to AI. We're going to rerun and see if we can get in the green. And so that's it. That's the whole channel. We're going to look at real numbers. We're going to honestly interpret them, and we're going to do it in public. And I'm Jonathan Earhart. See you on the next episode.